Hi, this is Scott from Specter Gear. A while back, and this is going to be probably 6 or 8 months ago, I did a video where I profiled and showed an upgrade to a Winchester 1300 shotgun that we had just laying around the shop. And it was in its stock configuration with a full-length stock, which was actually a bit longer than full-length and consequently was a very difficult gun to shoot. And it really... You know, it was kind of typified a lot of the general mistakes that are made by gun designers when they produce some of their weapons. But for all intents and purposes, it had good bones. It was a good platform to start off on. And I'm kind of partial myself to the Winchester 1200, 1300 design, because the first combat shotgun that I ever had way back in 1981 was a Winchester 1200 Defender. And so we had this thing laying around, and I wanted to do a few easy upgrades and show how easy it is with just a couple of simple modifications to turn a shotgun from a gun that's very difficult and very punishing to shoot into one that's quite comfortable and quite effective to employ. So the first modification that we did was we put the Hogue 12-inch length of pole stock on here, and that was the most fundamental difference that as far as change goes, the most fundamental change that we experienced. Because when we went from that long length of pole stock, which caused you to kind of hold the gun at a very awkward angle, and it would direct the recoil forces right into the radial nerve, now what we have is a shorter length of pole buttstock that we can really get into the shoulder pocket with and really square up our stance and get an effective shooting stance with the shotgun. So right there, that's one good step forward. Secondarily, we put some extra ammo carriers on here. Of course, we have the side saddle shell holder on the side, which holds 6 spare rounds on the gun. And then we have one of our Specter Gear 5-shot buttstock magazine pouches. And then to top it off, simple addition of a Specter Gear Raptor 2-point sling, and we're kind of good to go. Now, there's a few other modifications that I like to do further down the road. Currently, I'm still using the fiber optic bead sight, but for close quarters, bead sights have always been pretty workable for me, and this is kind of a close quarters gun. It's a shop gun, so if anything popped off, it'd be within the confines of our shop. So we're talking general CQB distances, although I probably at some point in the future am going to put some kind of rail on here, and then I'm going to mount maybe one of those Romeo 5 sights on it. Or I may go with ghost ring sights. Hard to say, but for right now, for less than probably, well, with the stock you've got, I think you can get them for less than 40 bucks if you look for them on sale. Another 30 for the side saddle. Then you've got your sling and buttstock shell holders. So for a fairly low price, you can transform a garden variety shotgun into a pretty effective shooting instrument. So if you're on a budget and you're looking for a CQB long gun for home defense, take a trip through the pawn shops. Have a look at some of those guns that are on the shelves that people don't want. You may find yourself some Winchester 1300 that somebody doesn't like because they didn't understand it. Hey, the thing kicks too hard. Well, hey, it kicks too hard because that long-ass stock on there. Let their misfortune be your benefit and save you some money. So if you find a deal on something like that, grab it up. Throw a few simple modifications on it. You can transform something that kicks like a mule and treats you badly into something that's going to actually work for you. So I'm going to pop off a couple of rounds here just because I wanted to kind of get a feel for this stock and give you some impressions on some of the changes, because God knows I've got enough experience with that the full-size stock on there. So let's go ahead and pop off a couple of rounds, and I'll show you the different loading mechanisms as well and how they can be effective in keeping you in the fight. So without further ado, here we go. So following the concept of shoot one, load one, or load what you shoot, I fired 2, so I go to the side saddle, and I just load another 2 in. Pop another 2 off, I can go to the buttstock shell holder. At that point, I can load another 2 in. And the idea, if you're following along with the bouncing ball, is because you can keep the gun topped off as you're going along, you can keep that magazine tube full throughout your confrontation and stay in the fight without running the gun dry. Well, we're going to bring the shooting demonstration to a close because it appears I shot. Could you turn the camera around and show them the damage? Apparently I treated this steel target a little poorly. Jesus is probably going to get on me about that, but let's go ahead and take a look here and see what happened. This is a steel plate that I was shooting, and well, the wood gave way. So with that bomb, or on that bombshell, we'll go ahead and bring it to a close. I'll thank you for watching and or listening. This is Scott at Specter Gear. Have a wonderful day.